Y'all don't understand how freaking pissed I am. Okay. So, I had my practicum today, y'all. Right? I work from 9 to 3 usually, but I left early because I had a doctor's appointment, a therapy appointment, right? At 4:30 in Glendale. Now, I work in the Valley, but my doctor's appointment was in Glendale, right? It's not gonna really take that long, about an hour. You know, you guys know I take the public transportation, right? And I had been booked this appointment with this psychologist, because let me fill you guys in. So for you guys who don't know, I'm in my second year of a PhD program in clinical psychology. I'm ending my second year, right? I'm approaching my third year. It's great news. I'm all happy. I'm excited. I just finished my semester, so I'm feeling good, about everything. I just took my comp exam. I'm feeling good. But as part of the requirement for the program, we have to do therapy. We have to go for 16 hours of therapy. It used to be 45, but they reduced it to 16, right? And they want us to initiate therapy by the end of our second year, right? Now, I know for you guys who have been watching, I've already come to you guys and talked to you guys about how I did find a therapist before, right? In Beverly Hills. I think she was a pretty good therapist and everything. Me and her was vibing and everything. Cool, right? Come to find, okay, I'll just let you guys, I'm going to give you guys a quick warning. Because this is a rant video, okay? I'm upset. I'm freaking pissed right now, you guys. Freaking pissed! I'm angry, okay? So if you don't want to hear that kind of negativity, just exit the video. Because I'm mad right now. So, like I said, I told you guys before, how I found a therapist in Beverly Hills, right? Everything was going cool. It was good. I thought she was the one. I found her through my insurance company, right? Because I want my insurance company to pay for it. I don't want to pay for this out of pocket, It's like if insurance can cover it, why should I have to pay out of pocket, right? So she takes my insurance, and I decided to go with her, the one in Beverly Hills. I could have sworn I did my research, right? I looked her up. She pops up as a licensed psychologist on Google, right? Come to find out, okay, hopefully y'all can get through this video with my phone dying. But come to find out, I done did 4 sessions with this lady, and she's not licensed. Okay? It's like no wonder she was wanting to double up. Because she was like, kept trying to press the issue. She was like, oh, well, I can book you twice in 1 week. And I'm like, okay, good. I'm thinking like, okay, she's looking out for my best interest because she know I have 16 sessions to do. And it makes it easier if we can double up and do 2 sessions a week. Y'all, don't say I'm cute when I'm angry. So I agreed to do 2 sessions in 1 week, right? I doubled up. I done did 4 sessions with this lady. Now, mind you, the first session, I told her she had to sign off on this piece of paper, which is basically initiation of therapy, so I can give back to my people at my school, let them know I've started therapy, right? That's required of all PhD students. This is not nothing special. And she was like, hold on, bring it to the next session. Hold on, bring it to the next session. I was wondering why the fuck she keep delaying signing off on my freaking form. Right? Come to find out, she ain't even freaking licensed, y'all. She's not even a licensed psychologist. So I'm going to Beverly Hills, trucking my black ass over there to go see her, sharing with her my personal motherfucking business. Because y'all know how therapy can be really intense, you're touching on some very sensitive topics. They go kind of a little deep, personal issues. I'm sharing with her shit I don't share with nobody else, right? Just for us to have to terminate because she kind of find out she's not even fucking licensed. So I was upset about that. I was pissed about that shit, right? And then she got a nerve to make it seem like I'm backing out of the situation as if it's my choice. I'm like, lady, my school requires that we see a licensed psychologist. It cannot be a licensed marriage and family therapist. It cannot be a licensed professional counselor. They have to be a licensed psychologist. There is a difference because licensed psychologists go through many more years of training, education, and different kind of licensure, different tests, right? Upset. So I already went to her for 4 sessions. She got paid for those 4 sessions, billed by my insurance company, right? To just give it to my freaking program director and her to come back and tell me, oh, she's not a licensed psychologist. She's a PsyD, which means she has a doctor and she has a doctorate degree in psychology, right? But she's not licensed. She's licensed as a marriage and family therapist. So I'm like, okay, I'm talking to my program director and asking her, big deal, right? She has a doctorate degree in psychology. Me and her have established rapport. She's cool. I'm feeling her. It's like, why should I have to start over? She was like, oh, we really recommend that you guys go see a licensed psychologist. I'm like, oh my God. She kept really pressing the show. I'm like, oh, you know what? Okay, fine. And then my director was like, oh, well, you know what the policy says? The policy says this, right? This is in the student handbook. You already know this. If I let you do, I have to let other students. I'm like, come on. It's not like I intentionally went out there and found a licensed marriage and family therapist. You know, I only went to her under the impression that she was a licensed psychologist, right? Had I known she was a licensed psychologist, I would not have wasted my time going to freaking see her, y'all. Okay? So that was that. That's behind me. That's been over several weeks now, right? So I had to go back to square one, went back to the directory of providers across LA to find another licensed psychologist, y'all, right? To find a licensed psychologist, not another, because she wasn't even licensed, but find a licensed psychologist. And, you know, I spent a good several hours trying to find one. Why? Because I had to find one that takes my particular insurance, you know? So I'm calling around, leaving voice messages. Like, that whole process to me was just strenuous. Like, it's a lot, you know? Because I'm like, how difficult can it be to find a fucking licensed psychologist who takes my insurance? You know, I'm at this point where I'm just like, if I don't find a freaking psychologist, right? And I'm going through the book, you know, I'm calling around. Most of them saying, oh, we're not taking any new clients. We don't have any room, I finally found one that said they had room, but they ended up booking me out. Maybe this was like 6 weeks, right? This was like, I called, okay, we in May. So I made these phone calls back. I think it was April, maybe early April. So I booked it in advance, right? Because they didn't have any sooner appointments available, right? So I'm like, good. I got me a June appointment, right? I got me a May appointment, you know, for today, which I had to wait around for because, like I say, nobody had any available appointments that were available closer to the day when I first called around. So y'all know I'm like waiting around, weeks passing by, waiting around for this day to meet with this new psychologist, right? To start therapy, thinking that, okay, I found me one, you know? And being it's like the end of the semester, the end of the year, you know, it's coming upon that time where I'm going to have to submit my initiation of therapy form to my director because they want to see that we're in therapy, right? At least they have initiated it. Like, time is running out. You get what I'm saying? So, of course, I waited around to this day to come. Finally, today comes. I told my supervisor at work, I'm like, hey, I'm going to have to leave work early because I have a doctor's appointment. I have therapy. He was like, you got therapy? He liked to joke around. I was like, yeah, you know, it's part of the requirement for the program or whatever. And I have to make sure I have enough time to get there. So he was like, all right, cool. Thanks for letting me know. You know, no problem. So I'm leaving at, 2 o'clock to get to this freaking therapy session, right? In Glendale. I I get out the bus and I'm like, okay, I like the neighborhood. It's clean, da da da. It's real nice, and I finally found the place. Nice place, by the way, right? Nice building it's in, very clean, because you don't always get that sometimes in some of these places where they do therapy, right? Very nice environment. I'm like, okay, everything good to go. I go in there, the receptionist, she was like, you're here for an appointment. Da, da, da. I'm like, yeah, I'm here for an appointment. She asked for my ID. I gave her my ID and my insurance card, right? So she can make copies. Then she had me fill out these forms. She had me read through some papers and stuff. I had to, normal process, sign, read the informed consent that talks about therapy and what I can expect. I already know this whole spiel because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm going to school for that, and I've already been doing it as a therapist. So I know the whole process of initiating therapy, how it goes. To fill out the paperwork, read the paperwork, fill out the informed consent. And they had me do, this is the thing, y'all. At the end of all that paperwork in the back, they had me do this little screening checklist, right? To see, I guess, what was going on. Just like a little pre-screening measure, right? So I'm going to read y'all these questions that I did on the... And this ain't even it, y'all. Y'all gotta stay around and listen. I'm gonna try to help and wrap this up real quick. But this is just, I'm laying the foundation for y'all so I can see where I'm coming from. So they had me fill out this form, right? I'm looking at the form, I'm like, I ain't never seen this form before. Because I'm pretty familiar with most of the pre-screening measures and stuff, right? We use. So the form is DSM-5 self-rated level 1 cross-cutting symptom measure. So basically it's a pre-screening measure that has these questions where I can endorse and rate my degree of symptomology, based on how I identify with some of these questions, right? I'm gonna read y'all these questions. It's pretty straightforward stuff, and I have to rate either none at all, slight, which means rare or less than a day or two, mild several days, moderate more than half the days, severe nearly every day, right? On a scale from 0 to 4. 0 being not at all, 4 being severe nearly every day. And as I was reading through the list, I'm gonna read this list to y'all, but as I'm reading through the list, I can tell what the questions are tapping into, right? And I'm being honest, so I'm gonna go ahead and just take the assessment with y'all. Little interest or pleasure in doing things. And this is roughly what I put down. I'm trying to remember. But I put down, I'm going to tell y'all what I put down. And this is the truth, So I said, little interest or pleasure in doing things. I'm pretty sure I circled 0 on that. Feeling down, depressed, or hopeless. I think I maybe put 1. Feeling more irritated, grouchy, or angry than usual. I put 0. Sleeping less than usual, but still have a lot of energy. 0. And I can tell what some of these questions are tapping into, like that one. Sleeping less than usual, but still have a lot of energy. That's mania, That can load onto bipolar, basically, manic depression. Right? I'm like, no, that's not the case, because I get my sleep. I usually sleep a full 7 to 8 hours a night. Now, recently I've had less sleep. Like the night before my comp exam, I only had 5 hours of sleep because I'm anxious, have to wake up the next day and take this exam. So I did have trouble sleeping, but I went into the exam and I believe I aced it, y'all. We shall see in a week. Okay, so where we at? Number 5, starting lots more projects than usual or doing more risky things than usual. I think I put maybe 1 on that one. Feeling nervous, anxious, frightened, worried, or on edge. I put 0 because that's not necessarily how I feel. Feeling panic or being frightened. 0. Avoiding situations that make you anxious. 0. Unexplained aches and pains. I think I may have put 1. Feeling that your illnesses are not being taken seriously. 0 because I don't have any illnesses. Where I'm at. Number 11, thoughts of actually hurting yourself. No, I'm not suicidal. Hearing things other people couldn't hear, such as voices, even when no one is around. No, that's obviously psychotic features, having hallucinations. Okay, where we at? Number 13, feeling that someone could hear your thoughts or that you could hear what another person was thinking. No. Problems with sleep that affected your sleep quality overall. Most of these I endorse either 0 or 1. 0 being not at all, 1 being sometimes, but rarely, right? Okay, let me keep going. Problems with memory, no. Unpleasant thoughts, urges, or images that repeatedly enter your mind, no. Feeling driven to perform certain behaviors or mental acts over and over again. That's obviously obsessive compulsive disorder. No, I don't have that. Feeling detached or distant from yourself, your body, your physical surroundings, or your memories. I circled 0. But recently I've been kind of feeling like, damn, what's going on with me? Kind of feeling like out of body. Don't know what that's about. But I'm just telling y'all what I endorse. I'm gonna get to the point what happened, y'all. This is before I even went to go see the doctor, right? Okay, let's keep going. 19, not knowing who you really are or what you want out of life. No, because I know exactly what the fuck I want. I'm on a mission. Number 20, not feeling close to other people or enjoying your relationships with them. I think I circled 0. But that's the thing about these questions. Like, you can't not take it with a grain of salt. And I'm going to get into that in a minute, right? Because it's like, you can say yes, you can say no, depending. It depends on certain situations. Okay, 21, drinking at least 4 drinks of any. No, I don't drink. Smoking cigarette, cigar, pipe. No. Using any of the following medicines on your own without a prescription from a doctor. Includes heroin, marijuana. No. So that pretty much was the pre-screening measure that I filled out, right? So as you guys can see, like I said, most of these I endorse either 0 or 1, which means not at all for 0. 1 is like slight, but rarely, right? Maybe once a day or 2 or something like that. Okay, so I gave him my pre-screening measure and waited for the doctor to call me in. The doctor finally called me in, right? And I'm thinking, okay, this is going good. It seems like a more professional setting than the one I was going to see in Beverly Hills with the fake psychologist who claims she was a psychologist, but she's not. And I go in his office. He greeted me with a smile, seemed very welcoming, very courteous. I'm like, okay. Office smelled good. Smelled like he had some kind of plug-in going on there. I'm like, okay, everything is flowing, right? He was like, have a seat. So you can sit on his couch. He has a very spacious office. I'm like, I'm feeling good about this whole thing, right? So I sit down. He look at me, right? And just by the look on his face, I'm like, oh, shit. What the fuck is going on now? So he's like, so what brings you in? And I'm just straight to the point. I say, well, actually, I'm here because this is a requirement as part of the PhD program that I'm in. It's not just me. They make all PhD students do it. We have to do a certain number of hours of therapy, psychotherapy, right? Consecutive psychotherapy sessions. And it's 16 hours. And so he was like, okay. And it's like, then he looked at, I guess, my pre-screening measure, right? And he was like, okay, so based on what you put here, it doesn't seem like nothing is going on. I was like, okay. And so he was like, so based on that, I don't think I can see you here. Y'all, I was trying to keep my cool, y'all. And I think I did a good job. Keeping my cool when he said he don't think he can see me there. And it really pissed me off because this isn't the first. Because even on the phone, I got a phone call. My appointment was today, y'all, right? Now, yesterday, I get a call from this same office, the doctor's office, calling me. I ain't answer the phone because I didn't know what the number was. They left a message and it was like, Danielle, we see you have an appointment tomorrow for 4:30. Please give us a call back. If you don't call us back by, I think like they said, 5 o'clock. So I think at the time it was like maybe 3:30. So I had like an hour and a half to give them a call back, right? It's like, if you don't give us a call back by 5 o'clock, we're just going to assume that you're not going to come tomorrow. So we're going to cancel you because we have a line. We have a waiting list. We have a line of people. I'm like, okay, if I call and book this appointment with y'all, unless I called and canceled, shouldn't it already be assumed I'm going to be there? So for them to call me, I mean, I understand a courtesy call as a reminder. Most doctor's offices do that. Dentist offices do that, right? To give a courtesy call to say, hey, here's a reminder. We have an appointment, right? And they'll say, okay, if you plan to cancel, you want to cancel, then call them, right? To cancel. But it's kind of assumed that if you don't call them to cancel, then you're still on, right? So they're going to say, if you don't call us back to confirm your appointment, I'm like, what's the point? What is the point of doing that? So when they did that, right, I called back. This was yesterday. I called back and I was like, yes, I have an appointment tomorrow and I'm going to be there. She was like, are you sure you're going to be here? Because if not, we have other patients who are lined up to see us. We stay pretty busy. And if you're not going to come, just let us know. I'm just like, what the fuck is this about? You get what I'm saying? Like, if I called y'all saying I'm going to be there, and even over the phone, I told her, because I didn't want to go through this whole shit again that I went through with the lady out in Beverly Hills. So I asked the lady over the phone, I said, do they take my specific kind of insurance? She said yes. And I told her why I'm coming to therapy. It's for a requirement. And reason why I said that, because I wanted to make sure the doctor was a licensed psychologist. I say, is he a licensed psychologist? And she was like, yes. I said, okay, I want to make sure, because that is a requirement as per my program. They say that it's required. So she was like, yes. So they knew that I'm doing this for a program requirement, that I'm a PhD student, right? So it should already be assumed that I'm more higher functioning, right? So I get there. Like I say, we went back to this whole conversation. He telling me, oh, well, just based on the looks of it from your pre-screening measure, and by you saying that you are a PhD student, I don't think I can see you here. And I was like, why is that? He was like, because you don't have a disorder. He was like, and we can't bill you if you don't have a disorder. I'm like, what? Like, I already know the whole freaking managed care. That's how the managed care system works, right? That's how they get paid. You need a diagnosis in order to get reimbursed by insurance. I get that, right? But I'm like, dude, I just stepped in your office. I just sat my black ass down on this motherfucking couch. You are making that assumption based on just two factors: the fact that I'm a PhD student and the fact that I did not endorse enough symptoms on your pre-screening measure. Y'all, he didn't even go through the fucking measure with me. This is before he even collected any information about me. He just jumped and said, I don't have a diagnosis. I'm like, how the fuck do you know that? No doctor can sit up here and jump to that conclusion. And if he does, to me, that's unethical. I felt like what he did today was unethical, and he jumped the gun, and he did not do a thorough evaluation. I don't want to pull the race card, but I just feel like he took a misstep. And I'm like, what is it that he just was so quick to want to get me out of his office, as if he didn't want to see if I meet the criteria. He was like, oh, well, we are a government funded, federally funded organization, and our clients are usually have diagnoses that are moderate to severe. And I'm like, this don't look like no place where you see clients with severe diagnosis. You get what I'm saying? Moderate, okay, that makes sense, because usually you have to fall in that moderate range in order to meet the criteria. But they're as big as the DSM is, you guys. They got a diagnosis in that motherfucker for everybody. Everybody. You guys watching, I'm sure you crack open that DSM, you can find a diagnosis for yourself. I'm not saying that he should go and make something up, but I'm saying this man jumped the gun. He didn't even do a thorough evaluation before he came to that conclusion to say, oh, he don't think he can see me here. He was like, I don't have a diagnosis. It was like, the most I probably can diagnose you with is adjustment disorder. And I'm like, you don't know nothing about, you haven't even talked to me. He asked me no fucking questions, So I'm sitting here, listen, stop telling them why you're there. I was thinking about that. I was like, I should just go in there and not say that I'm a PhD student, because maybe you feel some kind of way. Maybe you feel you can't do therapy on a PhD student because I know too much. I don't know. So there may be a barrier there. I don't know. You get what I'm saying? But eventually that's gonna have to come up. And what's the point? I feel like why hold it back? I might as well put it out on the table. You get what I'm not necessarily throwing the form in his face right then and there and say, here, sign my form. I was gonna hold off on that for him to sign my initiation of therapy form, but I'm just like keeping it real. What's the point in beating around the bush and lying, right? I'm like, hell, maybe I should have fucking lied. So he was like, oh, so he was like, I don't know. I have to talk to my superior when she comes back, talk this over with her and see, but I'm pretty sure they're not gonna approve it because you don't have a diagnosis. I'm like, how the fuck you know I don't have a diagnosis? How the fuck you know I don't meet criteria for a diagnosis? Just based on a pre-screening measure. You get what I'm saying? He didn't even go through the pre-screening measure with me to say, okay, is this really how you feel? Because I mean, clients do it all the time. They may say certain things on a form, but if you go over the form with them, you'll find out that some other things will come to surface, right? And so I was like, so he was like, so what do you want to do? You want to continue and finish this session out, and then I can talk to her and we'll go from there. I was like, nah, so we might as well just end it here. What's the point? Like, if you already assume that you can't work with me, I don't have a diagnosis. Why are we pretending? Why am I just going to sit here just to be sitting here, like talking to you, telling my, he was like, well, I don't know. We don't know for sure. And so he started asking me questions about, well, how's the program? How's things going? And he found out that basically I attend the same school he graduated from, right? And so then he started asking me, like, talking about, I told him about my practicum, how I just came there from my practicum where I work, because I'm seeing clients now. And so he was like, oh, where you working? I told him the name of the place. And he was like, oh, you work there? And I was like, yeah, why? He was like, oh. And then he asked what the doctor's name was. And I told him my supervisor's name, the doctor who owns and regulates the program where I work. And he was like, oh, I know him. So we basically confirmed that it was the same person, that we knew the same person, right? Come to find out, where I work, he used to work like back in 2007 when he was going through the PhD program and getting his hours. I'm like, okay, cool. We know somebody, we have that in common. And then he was like, yeah, I know the stress of a PhD program can be really challenging, da, 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 da. So then we went from there. You are correct. I'm a biller coder. They needed to get paid. Never mind why you were there for your criteria for a PhD. He could have found a diagnosis if you... Exactly. That's what you get what I'm saying, Trinessa. So, okay, let me focus my mind, y'all. Okay, so then he started basically collecting background information, right? So he was just like, oh, so, how's the program? And he was just like, and as I was telling him how I moved to LA in 2016 from New York, he was like, oh, you're from New York? I was like, well, I wasn't born in New York, but I lived there when I was working towards my master's degree. And he was like, oh, he found it to be quite interesting. I was like, I'm from Florida. I was born in Florida. And he was like, oh, so I'm giving this man details about my fucking life, y'all. And then I don't know how the fuck we get on this, right? But he started talking about, he was like asking me why I came out to LA. And I told him the kind of backstory behind that and the whole deal about my ex. And that's a whole nother story, y'all. I don't really want to go into that. But I kind of started talking to him about my ex-boyfriend from New York and the shit I went through with that relationship, And this man, and like, I'm telling this man the shit that I went through. And this is recent, y'all. I just broke up with my ex in October, right? So despite what shit may look like on the surface, despite the fact that I'm in a PhD program and I'm keeping my head above water, like, he don't know what the fuck is going on in me. And I'm trying to share things about myself, and what I went through. And he's just sitting here looking at me with a blank stare. No kind of, like, he don't even get what's going on. He's not even connecting with me in that respect. I'm like, okay, what is it? Is it because he a man and I'm talking about a man? You get what I'm saying? So it's like men have this man code or something. I'm telling him about the stuff I went through in my past relationship and how it impacted me, emotionally and psychologically. And he's just sitting there as if that's not enough. You get what I'm saying? Like, that's not enough material to come up with a diagnosis or something that he could work with that's treatable. You get what I'm saying? So, yeah, I just feel like that shit was a waste of time. I ain't even finished telling y'all the story, but just having me thinking about it right now, like I'm trying to keep myself together because I'm really upset. I'm trying not to cry. Okay, go see a black. No, it can't be a sociologist. It has to be a psychologist. Two different things. Sociologists, psychologists, two different kind of people. I don't even think sociologists are licensed, but psychologists are licensed. And so, um, yeah, I'm trying to keep it together. Okay. So I done told this man about my fucking ex. I told him, he asked me, what else he asked me? Okay, he started talking about California compared to New York. And just, I felt like the shit he was interested in was so irrelevant. I'm like, dude, I get what you're saying. You know, you have to have a diagnosis. But for him to jump the gun before he even talked to me and assume that there's no diagnosis, and then he goes to say, like, he's talking about random shit that ain't got nothing to do with therapy. Like, I get he's trying to collect information, but he's talking about, oh, well, California is a nice state, and you can ride along the coast if you take the 101. Is more scenic than taking the 5 if you go, north. And I'm like, okay, that sounds nice. But how do you know? How you don't know that I'm here for something serious? Like, how you know I don't have something serious going on? You get what I'm saying? He going based on, he's talking about, oh, what I put on the pre-screening measure, this pre-screening measure. But I'm like, still, dude, you haven't even talked about the measure. We haven't even talked about the measure. Ferran Gray, I don't know if you can help or not. You can help me if you can help me find a licensed psychologist in LA that takes my insurance. But I just felt what he did was a complete oversight because this man did not listen. He did not hear me out. He glazed over the situation when I was talking about my ex and how that impacted me. You get what I'm like, how is he a licensed psychologist? How can he miss that? Because there's some stuff there. You get what I'm saying? There's some stuff there surrounding that breakup, but he chose not to address that. He's talking about comparing New York to LA. He was like, so when you finish school, what are your plans? You plan to go back to New York? I was like, yeah, I plan to go back there, because I like it. And, he's talking about the advantages of living in New York City. And I'm like, okay, I agree, but how is that therapeutically relevant? You get what I'm saying? And yeah, I'm trying to figure out what is the whole point of that meeting. Because the session lasted a full hour. And at the point when that was in the beginning when he told me he don't think that he can see me. He don't think that I have a billable diagnosis. So why didn't we just end the session there? Why the fuck you got me sitting up there telling you my personal motherfucking details as if you're going to see if you can see me when you saying, okay, it's nothing there. Talking about the only thing that I probably could bill you for or put down as a diagnosis is adjustment disorder surrounding your breakup with your ex, or just basically adjustment disorder and stress surrounding school, talking about like an adjustment to school. And I'm like, dude, no. I've been in this program for 2 years. That would not be considered an adjustment disorder, first of all. And if I'm telling you, I say, well, I'm trying to help him out, right? Because since he's so focused on getting a diagnosis, I say, well, actually, I have stress from school. There is stress there, right? So you can possibly diagnose me with anxiety. I'm telling him, this man, what he could possibly diagnose me with. I say, it could be anxiety. We can focus on that, right? He was like, no. He's like, I know how it was when I was in school, working towards my PhD. I know it can be stressful, but you'll get through it. I'm like, how the fuck is he licensed? Y'all, this whole situation just got me just like, complete waste of time, y'all. I'm just freaking mad. He was holding you and wanted to waste your time. Complete your mission elsewhere. Y'all, but I'm just like, why the hell? Like, why is he asking me these questions? Why is he acting like he's trying to help me? But you just said you can't, like, why the fuck am I sitting? I don't like to fucking waste time. if you've already predetermined that you're not going to see me as a client, then send me on my way. Don't sit up here and try to fake in front. You know, like, and then the stuff that he was asking ain't even necessarily tapping into no diagnosis. He could have focused on some of the things that I endorsed that I put one on to explore that more, to see if it really was if it really was a three or four. I felt like he didn't do that. That was an oversight. You know, when I started talking about my breakup, like, instead of him focusing on that and how that has impacted me and is still impacting me, he chose not to do that. You know, there's a million and one fucking disorders in the DSM. Only shit he's sitting up here talking about, oh, well, you don't have depression. I can't do a major depressive disorder. I can't